everybody, another night, another movie, and I just got done watching 1998's Bride of Chucky, starring Brad Dourif, Jennifer Tilly, Katherine Heigl, Nick Stable and John Ritter. This one I've seen a number of times in the past, and on this time it wasn't as good as I remember it, but we'll get to that in a second. So, bearing in mind this is supposed to have happened like 10 years after the events of Child's Play 3, which of course, like I said yesterday, I'm not able to cover. But basically, Chucky's, the dummy has been, the toy doll, Chucky, has been put in evidence locker. And Jennifer Tilly's character, Tiffany, blackmails some cop to get this, like, ripped up doll from evidence. And then we learn that she was actually going out with Charles Lee Ray before he got killed. So she's determined to resurrect him. Except the confusing thing for me when she did this was she's using this like Voodoo for Dummies book, which was kind of funny. But we'll get to the problem with that in a minute. But she's doing this voodoo curse thing, except she's using the exact same spell that Charles Lee Ray used to transfer his soul to the toy. So she's not doing a resurrection spell, she's doing a transfer of the soul spell, which should be completely different, but clearly the writers just could not be asked to come up with something else. And you know what, that kind of sums up the problem with this movie. But, because the thing is, so you have that, Chucky, when he's resurrected, he's not quite, you know, as in with being her kind of, it's really weird. She wants to, like, carry on and be married to him and all that stuff. I'm just like, okay. But he's not completely, you know, up for that and stuff, and he wants to carry on doing his own thing and that. So she locks him up, so he doesn't like that. He gets all, you know, testosterone fueled and stuff. Breaks out of this little playpen she's locked him in, with the awesome speak and spell, which was, I will say, the speak and spell joke was hilarious. So he kills her, and because she put this doll in the playpen with him, like a bride doll, so he kills her, and then, for whatever reason, transfers her soul into this female doll. And you're then given the impression that, you're then led to believe that he's done this so that she can help, but then it's like, okay, but you get that she's pretty much in the same boat as you now. So he clearly didn't think that through. I'll put that down to being a man thing. But, sorry men, but seriously, that is totally men. But it just so happens that a neighbour of Tiffany's, Jesse, played by Nick Stable, he and his girlfriend are desperate to kind of elope and stuff, because his girlfriend Jade, played by Katherine Heigl, she's under the guardianship of her uncle, Warren, played by John Ritter in quite possibly the most disturbing and douchebaggery role since he was Ted in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh my god, just, it's very stereotyped. He's like the all overbearing kind of relative looking after this teenage girl. And because he's like the chief of police or whatever, he has everybody doing his bidding, and he plants drugs on Jesse and stuff. But it just, like I say, it just happens that Jesse and Jade are wanting to elope, and Tiffany finds a way to. She gets Jesse to transport these dolls to New Jersey, where Chucky needs to go to get an amulet that was buried with him. So Jesse and Jade, go off with the dolls, except they get stopped by this police cop that's under the thumb of her uncle, who it turns out that while he was planting drugs on in Jesse's van, Chucky killed Warren using nails, which they kind of launched at him. And there's a Pinhead reference. They're like, I'm sure I've seen that before. And I'm just like, really? But what cracks me up even more is we're supposed to believe that these two 3-foot tall plastic dolls, are able to lift the dead weight of a quite well-built man into this trunk. I'm just like, really? This movie, it pushes the realms of believability, even in the confines of a horror movie. They kind of stretch those limits way beyond breaking point, and it's distracting. And especially the believability that Warren has been killed by these nails going in his face. I mean, yeah, sure, there would be agony, there would be screaming, there would be... But we're led to believe that he's quietly unconscious in this trunk. This, box thing in the back of the van. Except then he pops up later, he's like, Aah! As a jump scare. And it's just like, oh my god. But yeah, the main goal basically is Chucky and Tiffany want to transfer their souls into the bodies of Jesse and Jade. It's so cliched. It's insane. So they're fighting, they're blah blah blah, and Tiffany and Chucky end up duking it out at the end because she doesn't like what a bastard he is, and he doesn't like how just a woman he is. She is, sorry. And they kind of both die, except Tiffany, in her dying pain throes, gives birth to the Seed of Chucky, which is the next movie, which I've never seen and I will not be reviewing quite happily. Which, of course, I should explain, is spawned thanks to the silhouetted puppet sex scene. Everybody says Team America did it. Yes, they did do it, but after Bride of Chucky. It's yeah, okay. What cracks me up is Chucky's like, oh yeah, I am anatomically correct. And I will say, I can promise you, every single doll I owned as a girl never had any genitals. Never anatomically correct. So, I don't know where Chucky, this good guy doll, got his bits from, but seriously, whatever. So, yeah. Okay, here's the thing. This movie, I've said before, this movie keeps putting in these pop culture references, like the Hellraiser joke, like, they have these very on-the-nose kind of, Tiffany, before she gets turned into a doll, she's flicking through the channels and there's the Murder, She Wrote theme, and then there's a clip from Bride of Frankenstein. And I'm just like, yeah, we get it. We get what you're trying to say. And whereas I've said in the past that it feels like it's trying to pay homage to, what's come before and stuff, This one feels like it's just struggling to go, look at me, I know this stuff. And there is the most ridiculously self-aware joke where they Jesse's like, how did you get like this? And Chucky goes, oh, it's a long story. If it was so long, if it was made into films, it would require 3 or 4 sequels to finish it. And I'm just like, that joke is so old. Can you not come up with anything new? And this movie doesn't. It's the same rehash story. It's, like I say, the script is so awful at times. And generally the whole movie is tacky. And I can't believe I'm saying this. But the special effects are really good. The new torn up design of Chucky is awesome. I find it a lot scarier than the plain doll from Child's Play 1. Practical wise, the Bride of Chucky, she has this short bob black hair, and yet I can believe the makeup jobs and that Tiffany does when she's in this doll's body. But the hair, I don't understand where she magically got this blonde wig from. Or whatever. Of course, we see her throwing the black hair away. And also, the black hair is nowhere near as long as the blonde wig she ends up with. So I don't know where that came from. But I love the doll designs. I love some of the robotics and puppetry in it. At times, particularly over the head shots, where they clearly have 2 people running around in these costumes, is really obvious, which is distracting compared to the awesome effects that have come before. And there's just this, I don't know if it's just because Brad Dourif is so into this character. He so embodies that character, even with just his voice. He just seems to be enjoying it so much that you kind of find it infectious and enjoy watching it. There are no real redeeming features about this movie. I kind of like that they tried rebooting it after such a long time, and especially, as I said, thanks to the controversy of Child's Play 3, which kind of kicked up, certainly here in the UK, a whole censorship kind of bomb. But I don't know what I would have expected from a movie, especially so long after the previous one. I don't know. It works on some levels, but there's other ones that just feel like it is trying to scrape the bottom of the barrel. And it's quite a polarising experience watching this movie as a result. Because I can't stand here and say outright, this movie's awesome, it's really good, it's worth checking out, it's definitely a good part of the series. I guess it kind of has that kind of, you know, the later Nightmare on Elm Street movies, where they just become parodies of themselves. This is like a parody of the Chucky movies, essentially, the Child's Play movies, if you wish to separate Child's Play and the Chucky movies. It does feel like a parody of the Child's Play movies. So, I don't know, it's only 1 hour and 20 minutes long. So if you have 80 minutes to kill, I wouldn't put it above, I would not put it higher than Child's Play. Child's Play is better than this, even though this is slicker. I know that sounds a bit like look, I'm getting confused there, but this is slicker, but Child's Play is much better. So yeah, I don't know what else to say really about this. I'm sorry I've kind of rambled. Like I say, it is such a bizarre experience watching this, because part of you is just groaning in absolute exasperation, and the other part of you is sat there going, oh, this is a good fun romp. And it is a good fun romp, if nothing else. If you're not taking it too seriously, then definitely check it out, because it's just silliness. But not in the fun silliness as, say, Child's Play. But yeah, no, Brad Dourif, like I say, he so embodies his character. You can't help but enjoy him. So yeah, I'd give it a 5, 6 out of 10. Average, basically. That was 1998's Bride of Chucky. Thanks for watching. That was tonight's movie. We'll be back again tomorrow with another horror movie. We're not out of the woods with those yet, sorry. Just a couple more to go. But for now, this is Sketch, signing out.